Um, this is the oldest poem I still carry around with me. I think you're a mirror for Chad. Every time I make my trip home, I want you there. Strange, no longer sad, almost smiling for me. How strange we must seem, sliding down Salt Lake streets, strolling in love with our sickness, with each other's hands. How we sit in loud cafes, dreaming, talking, endlessly talking about how you hate your school, or this phrase or that idea, how you want kids. Baby blue hotel night, you and she, too much cocaine. She loves you, but drags you on and on with her talk of some other love affair with some other moron who doesn't even come close to you, who mathematically proved his love for her when you can just say it. Leaves you in the corner of that room, pawing at the hem of her Levi's that she took off and invited you into your first. Should have been there. Think of a mirror. Wait for my turn when I tell you about how for a moment in a dirty bathroom, acid, bleeding thumb, and beer, I heard the voice of fiery angels. They told me I'm the sun in flesh. I tell you this awful statistic or that horrible fact. We laugh and embrace in the grass. It was a slow night walk in Liberty Park. Sounds of bikes with your stories, illicit sexual encounters with older men, who and why they sucked your cock. You say you want kids, little boys in little jeans who love you. All I think is no. All I say is nothing. Maybe I'm a Marxist, or I hated my father, you hate your father, and you're too beautiful to be hated by children. Anything but I think you're too unstable. That anyone as lost in their own mess as we should not care for a scraped knee. And always back to San Francisco, our midnight exodus, your chocolate-covered snap in Sacramento. Yes, you order the wine. You know far better than I who drink only beer. Yes, oysters. You know far better than my empty monk-like belly. Staring across the table, I think it's strange that I should feel like the father, sick to my stomach every day, worried that you've gone too far, that this is the final swing of sane. I who hate family and all the warm, wet feelings that go with. I who'd want to end the world, I think you're a mirror. Would want to hold you close to my chest, coo you, and tell you it's alright. I think you're a mirror, and you scare me. When I see you see you, and I see me, and we're locked this way, love. This one for Easter last year. These Easters are always finding me unsettled. Bottles piled on the counter, carpeting the floor. Clutched up dead spider. On cross-country flight, an empty spinning wheel. Limitless destruction, unending return. These things cannot be left in the ground and not be expected to rise again in the spring. I cannot be expected to reflect and then not seethe. Swallowing throat rolls of tooth poison, clenching at receding hair, sopping sleep sweat on sheets. You have to go to the cave for return. What on the morning of resurrection could one want more than JFK security digging through dirty socks? Put me in the air, return me from the east. To pull bile from my depths, watch and refine, put back to the pit. This is the change promised us, to misunderstand our own living bodies, to crave and itch and fall back alone. There is nothing that can be pulled through flame without transformation. The girls in their pastel dresses and sweet little shoes, me and my hair in disaster. What shall we do with the unforeseen repeating floods? What would the scavenger bird return? What will we do without ourselves? Maybe one from here. I did this poem at a series that was going on mainly last winter and through the spring, called Liner Notes, and this was a response piece to Nirvana's Negative Creep. When one starts at I am, then the negative is naturally present. I negate the day. I cut myself out of the world and do the work of defining that which is the portion in this removed portion. To speak of invasive species, brought across climates by accident or as gift, to remind a loved one of home, with nothing in the new environment to recognize this plant, the ivy engulfs a hill. It only takes one creeping vine. Phenotypic placidity, the ability of a living thing to change its physical attributes, to become better suited. Some plants may grow deeper taproot to suck more nutrients, or some unfurl broader leaves to consume more sun. An enlarging self, creeping positive, displacing negative. Predatory plants, the strangler fig, bird drops seed on top of canopy, growth begins at the branch level. Roots growing down, often killing the host, leaving a hollow tree, pure exterior. Dusty descends the dodo from the grips of extinction to stand as the moment's double symbol, dead and dumb. See the large land dove, thick-beaked, no natural predator, ill-suited to anywhere but its isolated island. Comes man, with an onslaught of dogs, pigs, cats, the nests that litter the ground, easy prey for a prodding tusk. They were so easy for the people to hunt, though they tasted terrible. Within 100 years of their brush with Western man, the last dumb dodo dies. This pain, the expulsion of everything that is not self, searching my dull borders, I creep out into my negative, black my white, V my mel. I punish my body, to let out or bring my out in, a diminishing me to allow the world its perfection. It is perfect. Only my eye and words tell me otherwise. I want to live in the world of my negatives, push the inside out, the bone to hold the skin safe. I want to eradicate these borders, this flesh of location. When the empty space in an atom in my hand touches another atom's empty space, what is touching but the limits of imagination? What identity isn't violence, a ripping away from all that is not it? What is this false unity that holds me whole? Who could be singular in this flow of energy and time? And we'll do two more. Because I've held the flaming tadpoles of transformation in my hand, they've burnt the pause of commas in my palms. Because the seeing I see in the mirror is the vision of memory, I brush the future from my hair. I know because I have felt the polarity change in girls' bodies, watched their orbits change before they felt the shift. I know because no matter the distance, we are still forced on each other's lives. Because I watched my daughter's birth. Violence. The entrance is violence. She burst forth like a geyser, her body already full of intention, only language missing. And that night she slept on my chest. Her mother's hair gone to curls and sweat, slept in the hospital bed next to us. We three in that room separately, together. Who believes these are the same clouds as those 3,000 miles away? That the way I feel today is the same weight as a decade ago? Who says that we don't? And the last one. I was born in 1980, by the way. The year I was born, a saint was shot in New York, when just 2 years earlier the king was allowed to die in his own boat. In the Pacific Northwest, a mountain explodes, creating miles of moonscape across Washington state. In the different world I was born, the USA did not compete in the 22nd Olympiad in protest over Russia's invasion of Afghanistan. I came crashing on this planet like a fighter pilot shot down over enemy territory, bearing down the birth canal with secret diamonds pressed tightly in my palms. It's not hard to see who I sing for. That year I was born, this pressure point in history. Bring Reagan, explode AIDS, and drug wars, and Christers, and the whole groundswell of stale-fisted conservatism. This year of holy revolution and African eclipses. 23 fall 1.2 miles in a gold mine, South Africa, on the day I was born, and they all died. There is no mistaking the song my mouth was shaped to sing. I herald the galactic destruction. I breathe life into mud that smashes into homes and gunks up the remote controls. I sell transit maps to anarchists, abandoned shoe factories to communists, megachurch blueprints to jihadists. I force my poems upon the Department of Defense and say, make policy based on these. How warm the face, how giddy the mind, to sing these final stanzas to the flame. Thank you.